Yes, good evening, everyone. So in the last session, we have seen the VPC peering, by using which we can establish the communication between two different VPCs. That's what we covered, right? Okay. In this session, let's talk about a VPN service. So first of all, what is a VPN? Later we can discuss how to configure it or how to use it or not. Or before getting into the VPN, let us say here, so this is the VPC which we already have, right? So I have no EC2 instances in the public subnet. I have only one EC2 instance in the private subnet, which I created just now. Okay. Now I want to log in to this private subnet instance. I want to log in to this private subnet instance to install some software. What is the process? Like how can we log in to this private subnet instance? Obviously, the private subnet instance doesn't have what we call that a public IP address. That's for sure, right? There is no public IP address. Only there is a private IP. Now the question: how can we access the or how can we log in to the private subnet instance? How can we log in? Anyone? Because already we covered it, right? We covered in the VPC topic itself. How can we log in to the private subnet instance which we can see on the screen? At least any idea, or first thing, are we able to log in or not? Are we able to log into the private subnet instance or not? If yes, how? So do you guys remember a concept called a Bastion host? What is the Bastion host? Bastion host is a special purpose EC2 instance which we can create in the public subnet so that we can log into the Bastion host first, and from the Bastion host, we can log into the private EC2 instance. Let us say here, this is going to be the Bastion host, right? Which is in the public subnet, which can get both a public IP and a private IP address. That's for sure. So that we can log in from your home to the Bastion host, and from Bastion host, you can log into private subnet. But that is not the general way how we can use in the real time. The problem is this is a Windows machine only. That's okay. But what if 10 different people wants to log into this private subnet instance? We can't create a 10 Bastion hosts or a 10 or a 5 Bastion hosts, right? Because the Bastion or any Windows machine by default doesn't support more than two logins at a time. Means two people can log in at a time. More than two people cannot log in. Or keeping all those things aside, I think you might heard about the VPN, right? We have to use a concept called a VPN. What is a VPN? What is the full form of VPN? What is the full form of VPN? Virtual Private Network, VPN. What is the use of this VPN is? VPN will allow you to log into the private network. VPN allows you to access the machines using the private IP addresses, or you can log in from anywhere to the private subnet instances. But the question is how? How is this VPN will create a secure tunnel between you and the network. There are different types of VPNs available. IPsec VPN, site-to-site VPN. The way how they operate is completely different. Okay, let me list out the things first. Let me write down few things about the VPN, and then we can see what are the different types and what type of VPN we have to use and all the things. So VPN allows the communication between your network and the remote private network. Remote private network, which means we can access the instances with their public IP address from anywhere with the help of VPN. With the help of VPN. So there are different types of VPNs. If you are working as a network admin, then you must know all types of VPNs. Types of VPNs are, let us say, the first one is like site-to-site VPN. Generally, in your organizations, in your office, these site-to-site VPNs will be configured between different branches. Then IPsec VPN. This is the one which we are about to configure. So what is the site-to-site VPN? Let us say you have one office in Hyderabad, right? Let us say this is a Hyderabad office, right? And you have another office in, let us say, Bangalore, right? And let us say here the network is 10.0.0.0/16. Generally, any organization, they don't use the same network range across their branch offices and all, because it might create IP conflict and all the things, unnecessary mess up. But generally, that will be taken care by the network administrators. Even we don't care about like whether they are unique IP addresses or not and all the things. So what they do, they might have some public IP just for internet browsing and all the things. What is this a site-to-site VPN is? Okay, before getting into that, let us say here, there are multiple employees in the Hyderabad office. Let us say 3 employees working in Hyderabad office, and there are 3 employees in Bangalore office. There are 3 employees in the Bangalore office. They are using their laptops. And in both the locations, they are having some servers. Let us say 2 servers in each location where all the data is getting stored. Let us say this is server 1. This is, let us say, server 2. And let us say this is a server 3. And this is a server 4. These are like machines. These are like machines, laptops. Let us say laptop 1, right? This is going to be the laptop 2. This is a laptop 3. And here this is a laptop 4, 5, and a 6. So here 1, 2, 3 laptops can access server 1 and server 2. They cannot access server 3 and server 4. In the same way, 4, 5, 6 cannot access server 1 and server 2. The reason is these two are two different networks, and they are two different private networks, right? So by default, two different networks cannot communicate. So to establish the communication between two different networks, they need to use a router, and both the networks to be connected to the router, and they need to configure some routing protocols and all the things. But I can't lay down a cable from Hyderabad office to Bangalore office, right? So here, what we do is we use something called a VPN, which is a site-to-site VPN, which is a site-to-site VPN. What exactly this site-to-site VPN is, which will enable communication between these two different sites. Site 1 is Hyderabad office and site 2 is Bangalore office. How? They use something called VPN devices. It can be a software device or it can be a hardware device. But generally, they use something called physical devices only. VPN. It can be a hardware or it can be a software. And they use same specification, same model, and all the things, because that will be easy to configure the VPN like this. On both the sides, they will maintain a VPN device, and they will create a tunnel, a secure tunnel. But these VPN devices will have a public IP address. What it will do, whatever the request is coming from this Bangalore office will be allowed to access Hyderabad office using the private IP. This is what the site-to-site VPN. But the problem here is, let us say one employee or you are working from home. So let us say you are at your home, right? So this is your laptop and you are at home. You are working from your home. Now you want to access server one. In such cases, they can't create a site-to-site VPN between your home and office, because if there are 100 employees, they can't send a device to each and every employee for VPN, right? So what they do is they will maintain a VPN server. They will maintain a VPN server. Again, it can be a hardware or it can be a software device. So in which there will be a public IP. Public IP. Now here in this VPN server, let us say this username is user1. I will create a VPN account called user1. Now, this user1 will install a VPN client. VPN client to be installed, a software. With the help of a VPN client, he will be connected to the VPN server. I mean, he don't log in like RDP or SSH. A secure tunnel will be created between the user's machine and the network of the Hyderabad office. And then the user one can access any machine in that Hyderabad office. Any machine in that Hyderabad office. Again, between Hyderabad and Bangalore, there is a site-to-site VPN. Once this user got connected to the VPN server, which means virtually the user is considered as he is in the Hyderabad office network. Obviously, he can access the Bangalore office machines also. Like here in the AWS, we created a VPC peering between two VPCs, right? If you have a VPN server in the VPC one, my first VPC, the user can access my first VPC and second VPC also, because there is a VPC peering between my first VPC and my second VPC. Now we are going to set up this IPsec VPN called IPsec VPN type of a VPN. It can be a hardware or it can be a software. If you ask me a question, can I create a site-to-site VPN between my office and Amazon network? Yes, you can. For that, you need to download some kind of templates and you need to run a machine which act as a VPN server in your office. With the help of that, you can create a site-to-site VPN. Okay, there are something called VPN transit gateways and all. I will show you those things also. Okay, right. So now let us write down few points. Site-to-site VPN is used to establish the communication, or I can say establish the secure communication between two different networks. Two different networks. Example, uh, between branch office and head office networks, or between your office and AWS VPC network also you can, if required. But generally, we don't allow everyone to log into the machines of the VPCs, right? So that's why we never use this site to site. I mean, there is no such requirement. And then IPsec VPN is a type of VPN which allows individual users to access the private network from anywhere across the globe. How it works? How it works is, first thing, we need to set up a VPN server in your network or in AWS VPC public subnet. Then need to create a VPN accounts for every employee who require access to the private subnet instances. Then the user needs to download the VPN client software to their machines, and then they can connect to VPN service. So this establishes a secure connection between the user's machine and the VPC network. Now, the user can access any instance in that network, any instance, even the public subnet instances, any instance in that network using the private IP address. Actually, in the real time, even though if you create a web server in the public subnet, we don't assign a public IP. We will never, then you might ask a question like, then how the website is accessible, right? What we do is we'll create a load balancer. Load balancer will be in the public subnet. My web servers, we are in the public subnet, but I don't assign a public IP. That what I do while creating the EC2 instance, I will disable auto assign public IP. Means those machines are not accessible from outside, but those machines and the load balancer in the same network, all the traffic will be received by the load balancer, and that will be distributed to the web servers. That's how we will secure. Very rare cases, we will assign or we will allocate public IP addresses to your production instances. We will never assign the production public IPs to the production instances. Okay. So VPN is a mandatory in the real time. Without a VPN, there is no cloud network. Okay. There are n number of VPN softwares available. And what we do is we use a VPN called OpenVPN. OpenVPN is one of the, or OpenVPN's access, OpenVPN server. OpenVPN is one of the most popular VPN service providers. And here we have two different options. One is free option. They offer free for two users, means you can allow two concurrent users to utilize the VPN service. For learning purpose, that is more than enough for us, right? But what if you want to more users? You need to purchase the license and you need to activate it. Now, what we do is set up a VPN server in the My First VPC and allow users to access the private subnet instances using the VPN. So first, what we have to do, first create a Linux EC2 instance. I will let you know why Linux. Even you can go with the Windows also. But in the Linux, it will be very easy and more secure to set up these kind of things. Create a Linux EC2 instance by choosing OpenVPN AMI from the marketplace. What does that mean? Whatever the EC2 instance we create, that EC2 instance will be pre-installed with the OpenVPN server, OpenVPN server software. Or else, if you create a normal Linux instance, then you need to download the software and you need to install that OpenVPN service and everything. Now, allocate an elastic IP address and associate with the OpenVPN EC2 instance. Why? In the real time, we will never allow the IP address to be changed. If the IP address got changed, every employee need to reconfigure their VPN client, right? Okay. But make sure once you're done with your practical, you need to release that elastic IP address. Now, log into the Linux instance and configure or set up the OpenVPN server. Then log into OpenVPN using admin UI. Only for the login setup purpose, we will log into Linux machine. From then, we will get a graphical user interface with the help of a browser. We can log in and we can set up and we can manage everything. Admin UI and create multiple user accounts for employees, like user one, user two, user three. Even I create one user account and I will share that with you guys so that you guys can check that you can log into the private subnet machine or not. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us do it. So here, what I am going to do is, yes, where are we? Yeah, so here I will set up a VPN server to which we will get a public IP and a private IP. Okay, so then here, let me right, log into our Amazon account. So here I have an EC2 instance which is running in the private subnet. And you can check there is no public IP address, which means there is no way to log in. Okay, let me create an EC2 instance. First step is to create a Linux EC2 instance for OpenVPN. The advantage with AWS is I will choose the appropriate AMI so that the OpenVPN service software will be automatically installed and ready to configure. We need to configure it. Okay, click on launch instances. Here I will say open VPN server. Click on browse more AMIs. And here in the search, I will type OpenVPN, press enter. And you can see in the quick start AMIs, there is nothing. But here you can say community AMIs, but published by anyone, which are not authentic or something. But what is AWS Marketplace is, in the AWS Marketplace, you will get the AMIs published by either AWS or trusted third-party AMIs. What is the meaning of trusted third-party? See the first one, OpenVPN INC means this AMI is published by the OpenVPN company only. You can see there are multiple AMIs. What are the difference? The first one is a self-hosted VPN BYOL. BYOL stands for bring your own license. Means in this AMI, you will not get any license. Means you will not get any charge for the AMI. What if I choose the second AMI? Here 10 connected devices, 10 licenses will be offered. For that 10 licenses, keeping the instance cost aside from the AWS, this OpenVPN will charge you $0.12 per hour or $840 per year. This is software usage. This is for software. Now, here there is no charge for license or AMI. You will be only charged for EC2 instance. If you are under free tier and if you are using the free tier eligible, you will not be charged. So here, let me select the first one for which I will not be charged for the AMI. In the future, if I need more licenses, I can purchase the license. I will get a license key and I will activate it. See here, even if I select this per hour, I will be charged 0.023. Why? The reason is if you go for this pricing tab, you can see by default T2.small is getting selected. And for that, you are getting charged $0.023 per hour. But for OpenVPN, the cost is $0 per hour. So I will choose a T2.micro, which is a free tier eligible, and I will not be charged any money for this EC2 instance also. Now, subscribe means you need to subscribe for OpenVPN. Click on this subscribe on instance launch. Or you can click on subscribe now also. Means you are subscribing to the OpenVPN thing. It is not chargeable. But here, yeah, make sure the instance type is a T2.micro. See, I can see free tier eligible. Key pair, let me choose a key pair. Network settings, my first VPC, and it must be in the public subnet. And here, choose a create a security group. First of all, the VPN server is getting installed in the Linux machine. So SSH to be opened. And for VPN service also, we need to open some ports, right? What ports? HTTPS, custom TCP 943. This HTTPS is for web console and this is for VPN client. This is also for VPN client. So automatically those port numbers will be allowed if you choose create a new security group. How they know? Those were configured in the AM. They were configured in the AMI. 8 GB is more than enough. Click on launch instance. The EC2 instance is getting created. And in the real time, for these kind of servers, always we need a static public IP address. On AWS, we get the static public IP with the help of elastic IP address, right? Okay, now let us go with elastic IP address. So what is happening here? It is subscribing to the AMI, which we are getting from the marketplace, which won't take much time. So while it is getting created, I will open EC2 service in a new tab just to get the elastic IP and all. Sorry. So in the EC2, if I scroll down here, you can see elastic IPs under network and security. I don't have any elastic IPs. I will click on allocate elastic IP and I will add a tag for identification purpose name. VPN server means this elastic IP I'm using for VPN server, because in the real time I might have 10 elastic IPs or something. Every time I don't want to go there and I don't want to check to with which instance it got attached, and I don't want to get the instance ID. I don't want to go to the EC2, a lengthy process. But here, seeing the name, okay, this is associated with VPN server. Okay, now associate it, select actions, associate VPN server, and click on associate. And that was associated. So what's happening? Yeah. So view all instances, EC2 instance, just refresh. See here, VPN server is getting created. Now, what is the thing? We need to log in, right? We need to log in. Okay. How to log in? I think we have seen like with the help of putty, right? Now let me show you using Mobax term also. We can log in using the Mobax term also. How to log into the Mobax term? Just here you can see SSH client, copy it, open the Mobax term tool, which if you already have. If you are getting confused, no worries, just go use your putty tool or whatever. So I need to go to the keys where I have located Northern Virginia. But here we will use a PEM file. Mobile action, we will use a PEM file. Okay, right click, paste. Oh, wait. So here, let me copy, enter. Login failed. Why? Okay. So here, if you observe here, what is the username I have used? Root. But for this, the username is not root. The username is not root. See here, please log in as the user OpenVPN AS rather than the user root. The username should be OpenVPN AS. That is a default username for that AMI. Even if you check the what we call that AMI details, you can observe that. So here the username to be OpenVPN AS. Wait, it is just getting loaded, and automatically you will get the OpenVPN configuration part. It will ask you to configure the OpenVPN. Just wait. See here, it is getting loaded. Now, just I'm scrolling up. OpenVPN Access Server initial configuration tool. Just these all are the license agreements, end user license agreement. Just if you want, you can read. Please enter yes to indicate your agreement. Just you must type yes that you are accepting the license agreement. And will this be the primary access server node? I mean, is this the first VPN server or is it going to be a backup VPN server? It's the first. So you need to type yes, but I don't want to type yes because here, whatever you can see, that is going to be taken as the input if you don't enter any input and press enter. Okay, please specify the network interface, all interfaces, go with all default options. Enter. Now, what public or private type algorithm do you want to use for the OpenVPN CS certificate? Yeah, please enter for default, press enter. Default. Default webadmin UI will run on 943 port. TCP port number for the OpenVPN daemon, enter. Should client traffic be routed by default through the VPN? No. I mean, what does that mean is, if you connect to VPN, if you're browsing google.com or yahoo.com, that will go through the VPN. So no. Should client DNS traffic routed by default? You can go with all default options. Enter. Should private subnets? Yes. Enter. Do you wish to log into the admin UI as OpenVPN? That means I said admin UI, right? This OpenVPN user is going to be the administrator. This is going to be the administrator. Press S. Type a password for the OpenVPN account. If left blank, a random password will be generated. Let me type a password. Please specify your activation key because it is a bring your own license image, right? I don't have any license, so I will press enter so that two users will be activated. I mean, two licenses will be activated, no of cost. If you need more, you need to purchase a license and then you need to activate that license even from the web UI that I will show you. So everything is done, right? Okay, now let me copy this. Initial configuration completed. Let me copy it. Let me paste here. So now I'm going to the admin and you both are going to act as a users, employees. So what I have to do, I need to create what we call that a VPN account for you guys. So you guys can connect to the VPN and you can access the private subnet instance. You can check that also. Let me show you. So I will create a user account for myself and for you guys also. This is the web. I am the admin and you are not going to be the admins. So open your favorite browser, access the URL. Because I don't have any SSL certificate and all. So warning. Click on proceed. Yeah. So what is the username? OpenVPN admin user. I know the password. So total I will create 3 users, one for myself, 2 for you guys. Click on agree. So if you want to increase the licenses, you can get activation key, get the license, paste it here and activate it. Now what we have to do, just no need to check anything. If you want checking, just go to the VPN settings. Not required actually. Then here, see, this should be your VPC network range. Means this VPN will allow the VPN users to access this particular network. That is the meaning. And then go to advanced VPN. And here, even you can enable single sign-on and all the things. So OpenVPN will use this particular port and all, multiple sessions per user, and TLS script security will be used for all the data communication. which you can see here. Now, I want to create the users. Let me create a user. I will show you like how to access. Then you guys need to set up in your machine and you guys need to access. So first, let me create for my name, myself. So more settings, default, like password. In the real time also, this is how the usernames will be created. Keep scroll, save settings. Then the username and password will be shared with the user. How they will share? Okay. So here, just this is the URL. Everything is done right. Okay. Now share the VPN details with the user and guide him to set up and access the private subnet instances. Now, what admin will do, he will share this. Okay, this is the URL, then username, password, right? Now, the user, now I am not the admin. Assume I am going to act as a user. But before that, I will create, okay. And one more thing, you need to click on update running server. Before logging out, I will create users for you guys also. If you want, you can follow along with me. Okay, I will share the username and passwords here for both of you guys. Okay, this is how the username and passwords will be shared. Now, assume you are the user and how you set up is right. So you don't have access to the admin and all, right? Okay. Now, this is not the URL. This is the URL which will be shared by the admin. All right. Then you need to enter your username and password, which I shared. What happened? Hmm, did I forget my username password? Okay, I will do one thing. I will use Ashutosh. I will use your username and password. I set up a password. I forgot my password just within 2 minutes. Hmm. Login failed. Why? Okay, let me check why we are unable to log in. Can you guys check whether you are able to log in or not? Let me check the log reports. Password verification failed. Mhm. Let me check. Okay. Save settings. update. This is mandatory. If you don't click this, what we call that, the password will not be updated in the running server. Let me set for you guys also. Can you guys please check whether you are able to log into the provided URL with the username and password? Okay, done. I hope. I forgot to click on update running server. Ah, I forgot to click on update running server. So what I do is just I will stop VPN services and I will start a kind of restarting, right? Okay. So now let me log out. Now I'm going to log in with my username. Yeah, this is how you should log in. Okay, could you guys please check now? You should be able to log in now. Yes, log in. Yeah, log in, right? Okay, now based on your operating system, what operating system you are using, you need to download the OpenVPN client software, which is OpenVPN Connect. Not only this, you can go with any VPN software. You can go with Viscosity or you can go with some third-party VPN clients also. That doesn't matter. Mine is Windows machine, so automatically detected and it recommends to download this particular VPN client software. Just click here. It will be downloaded. We can see it is getting downloaded, which is 90 MB in size, which won't take much time. Even you guys can download it. Generally, whenever you log in with your username and password and you download it, the moment once you install, your VPN user will be auto configured, or else you need to download the connection profile from here. I will keep this as is. I will show you. Just install that VPN Connect software. This is the one, right? Let me open. That's okay. Click on more info and run anyway. Ashutosh, still login failed. Okay, for you, let me. Okay, I will reset one more time. Okay, once we are done with the practice, I will reset and I will allow you to, I will wait for you to confirmation for the login. Okay, right. So where are we? Yeah. So just a regular software installation. Accept the license agreements. Next, install. What I do is I will download this user locker profile. 99% we don't need this. 99% we don't need that. It will be integrated with the software which we downloaded. But to be on safer side, I will download it. Yeah, it downloaded. I will show you the purpose of that. In the meanwhile, while it is getting downloaded, what I do is I will log in as an admin and I will set Ashutosh password. Even I can set myself as what we call that administrator also. I will show you like how we can enable ourselves as a admin also, because I'm going to act as admin. That doesn't mean every time I need to log in with OpenVPN user, right? Generally, in the real time, the default user, we will disable it and we will enable whoever requires admin permissions. Like how can we enable a user as admin? Go to user management, user permissions. And for myself here, I will select this checkbox. That's it. Save settings. And don't forget to click update running server. Now let me update the password for Ashutosh. Uh, okay, so here, yes. Now, Ashutosh, could you please check whether you are able to log in or not? From now onwards, I can log in using the admin panel itself. I mean, with my username itself, I can log into admin. See now with which user I'm trying to log in now. I'm going to log in as my user, but I can access all the things. Okay. So this is the VPN client software which we installed. Click on agree. See here, automatically my profile got available. Let me say accidentally I deleted it or it was not available. Then how to access? We downloaded one profile, right? User locker profile. That we need to upload. How to upload? Just open the OpenVPN Connect, upload file, browse, and select that one, right? Username, log, server host name. You can say, you can profile name, right? I can say my AWS production VPC. Click on connect. It is asking me the password. See here, I got connected. Now, how to test the EC2 instance, right? With the help of EC2 instance, we can log. Now, log into the private instance using VPN. First, connect to VPN using a VPN client. Then log into instance using a private IP. And what all we need? We need a private IP address, username, and the password, right? So what is the private IP? Uh, Here is the machine, private IP. Username is going to be administrator. Password, click on connect, RDP client, get password, upload the private key, decrypt password. Okay. Now let us see how to log in. Just open the remote desktop connection. What is the IP address? 192.168.2.183. See, I'm getting this. If I got this means I'm able to log in. There is a communication. Administrator, password, click on OK, and I will be able to log in. See here. If I disconnect the VPN, automatically this remote desktop connection will be closed. Without VPN, you can't. Now, were you guys able to connect to the VPN using your VPN username and password? Could you guys please confirm? This is the private subnet instance. Can you guys please check whether you are able? You can check like this. It's showing connected means you got connected. If you want, I will show you. The moment if I click on disconnect, immediately the remote desktop connection will be closed. Ashutosh, were you able to log in? Also, I will share these credentials with you and you can check the connectivity. You can check the connectivity now. See here, I logged in, right? Now what I do is I will disconnect the VPN. See here, immediately it got disconnected. The moment once I close the VPN, the remote connection got disconnected because there is no communication. There is no communication. Okay, at least one of you guys can try and let me know whether you were able to log into the VPN and then you were able to access the EC2 instance, the credentials which I shared on the chat box. Anyone? Okay, anyways, before you guys will try, are you guys clear or any questions? Then we need to clean up the VPN related stuff, or else Elastic IPs are charged and all the things. I will wait. Once you guys, at least one of you guys verify, then I will clean up. Release Elastic IP. Sorry, not release. First, we need to disassociate the Elastic IP and a release. Then delete the VPN server, delete the private subnet instance. Tomorrow also we'll go with the VPN part. We have a few other small stuff like gateways and all, flow logs, gateways, and so we will conclude the VPC topic, not VPN, sorry, VPC topic tomorrow, and we'll conclude the entire VPC by tomorrow. Okay, right. Okay. Any questions? Anybody having any questions? Okay. Now let's go with the delete cleanup thing. First, I go to Elastic IPs. This is the Elastic IP. If you try to release it, see here, what you are getting? Cannot be released with association IDs. Means the Elastic IP is associated with some instance. So you can't release it. So first we need to disassociate, which will take less than 1 minute, not much time. Okay. Now go to actions, release. It is taking time. What do you mean by taking time? Like to connect to the VPN or the RDP connection? Now you will get an error definitely because I deleted the IP address. Okay, taking time in the sense, what exactly do you mean? Like VPN connectivity is taking time or the RDP connection is taking time? Okay, anyways, I think you got some clarity about like how it works and how what to configure and how to configure, right? But anyways, whenever you're getting any doubts, just feel free to reach me. I can help you out. Sorry. Now let me terminate the VPN server, or I can select both at a time. Instance state, terminate. Now the instances are getting terminated. VPC cleanup, that we will see tomorrow once we are done with all VPC related stuff. Let me show you the way like RDP definitely it will take a lot of time because the instance is just one CPU and 1 GB of a RAM, right? Okay. So here, this is what all we need to cover next is we need to cover these things, endpoints. What are those endpoints? and the most important thing, this one, customer gateways, virtual private. What are these things? We must know about each and everything. Okay. So if you want to configure site-to-site VPN, virtual private gate to be on your VPC, customer gateway to be on your office location, then site-to-site VPN will be configured. And then we have something called transit gateways. These are also we need to cover. But generally, we don't use them, but we must know for certification point of view. What are the transit gateways? Or we'll try a transit gateway creation also using some S3 part. S3 gateway we will create and we will check that practically, like how, I mean, we can't observe it, but the backend thing I will explain how the traffic goes and all the things. And then we have something called flow logs. That is the most important thing. Easy to configure, easy to configure, but every time in the organization, we will enable the flow logs. By default, no flow logs. We must enable the flow logs. We will start with the flow logs the tomorrow session, then we'll cover the gateways and all. Then we'll conclude the VPC part. Okay, right. Any questions?